Good morning. I have a couple things I have to get done first, which is a good thing. That means I have clients, I'm getting paid, right? And then I have a couple things I want to talk to you about. More specifically, networking in a brand new city and what that looks like. I think I'm doing a semi-decent job. I feel like I've met a good handful of people so far, and that's really exciting. And I'm going to share with you how I've done that and how I continue to plan on doing that. And then I have a little bit of a surprise for you. I'm going to check out a co-working space this afternoon, and I'm gonna bring you with me. Ready? Let's go. Okay, so I just got here. Let's go see what this is all about. Oh yeah, I forgot they said motorcycle shop also, which I don't really think I'll be partaking in, but it's cool anyway.
Operations that you just saw, everything that we have over there is going in this one room.
Okay.
So our walls are getting started on inside here to the shop to be. So wood shop, metal shop, paint shop, and shop.
My way.
Okay, so I just got back from Fort Houston and Lucy and I were talking about what to do here. The space is incredible. Basically, they have a maker space, and then beyond that they have your typical like co-working desk, and then you can have your own office too. It's kind of a scary thing because, as you know, I'm brand new to this, starting freelancing. Here's what I do know. I'm a very social person. Working in a social environment is really important to me, and it helps me be more productive. It helps me be more inspired. Lucy agrees. Okay, so let's talk about what we really came to talk about today, is networking. How I'm networking and what I'm doing in this brand new city. Well, I guess my biggest thing is don't be afraid to ask. I think this year my word is going to be ask, because it's crazy what happens when you just ask. When you get up the guts to say, have you thought about this? Or is there room for me there? Or how can I help you? Or can we go have coffee? It's really that simple. And what I love so far about Nashville is how gracious everybody is in helping me. When I ask, they say yes. So Lucy wants to sit on my lap while I have this conversation with you. There's a science to networking, almost. You meet one person and they introduce you to 3 more, and then you meet 3 more people from each of those people. And it's a really interesting kind of ecosystem, how it works and grows and builds. And I find it so fascinating because I've met some of the most interesting people from these networks that I wouldn't necessarily even think to meet. Like last week I went and met with a meeting planner who works for herself, and she has for years and years. She also introduced me to an agency owner who introduced me to a lot of other agencies and are now potentially interested in my lettering work. So my advice on networking is never be afraid to say yes, go meet somebody, and just meet for coffee. It's really that simple. But here's the deal, you never know who you're gonna meet and what they're working on and how potentially you could help them. I think that's the key. Make it about how you can help them. Make it about what you've learned about them. Do your homework. Know who you're meeting with prior to getting there. And you can say, hey, I looked at your website. I really loved that campaign you did for Lowe's or whatever. And then all of a sudden the conversation is about them. If you continue to pull the conversation about them, you're gonna automatically find ways that you can fit in and help them. Hence, get some work out of it. Beyond that, if maybe you just meet somebody and they're a really awesome person and it's not necessarily, you know, they're gonna turn into a client, but they probably know somebody that could use you. So always make the conversation about them. Be responsive, be friendly to talk to, ask questions, be engaging. And finally, always send a thank you note. You guys remember those little thank you cards I made the other day? Well, every single person I've met in Nashville, I'm trying to send a handwritten thank you card to, just to say thank you so much for taking the time to meet me. So don't be afraid to get out there and say, yes, let's meet for coffee. If you wanna get together with somebody, don't say, hey, I'm new to town, I'm looking for a job, I need you to help me. Say, hey, I'm new to town and I really respect your work. I've done, you know, some perusing on your website and I love this campaign you've done. I'd really be curious to know what's going on in the community here and what your experience has been and where you potentially think I could fit in. All of a sudden it's about them and not vice versa. Take feedback from these people, understand where they're coming from, and know that they know the community probably better or differently than you do, and their feedback is very valuable. So today's been a pretty fun day. We've talked about networking, and we went and visited Fort Houston co-working space. So I'm really tempted to say yes to this co-working space because it's gonna offer me another opportunity to network every single day. And as we all saw, Lucy and I get along great, but she doesn't have very many words, and I'm a pretty talkative person. So just being around other people, seeing the work they're doing, and getting to know their businesses, I think would be a really beneficial thing for me. So now the next step is looking at my monthly budget. How much do I currently make with my clients? How much do I want to make? And then can I swing this? Is it a feasible thing? So thanks again for your time today. Thank you guys so much for the support you've given me thus far on the last video. I'm so encouraging to hear your comments and know that there are other people in the same boat and you guys are doing this as well. Let me know what you're struggling with. Let's talk about this together. One of my biggest hopes for this project is to create a community of us. So use the comment section down below to do so. Actually, if you've watched this video and you're interested in freelancing, why don't you go ahead and comment down below with what you do and maybe where we can find you. And then who knows, maybe, you know, somebody in the comment section sees you and needs your work, or vice versa. And let's really just build each other up here and support each other in this freelance endeavor. Seriously, love you guys. Thank you for the support. Subscribe if you're new because we always have fun here. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks.
Ooh.